Pace Motorsport.
What's up guys, and welcome to GTSSA Season 1 Race Number 3 Lap Guide. On Thursday night we're going to be taking our cars around the circuit to Catalunya, my favorite track in this whole game. So I'm hoping that I'm able to give you a few tips in order to make sure that you are trying to fly around the circuit as fast as possible. As always guys, my favorite track, my favorite car in the game. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this coming Thursday, and yeah, obviously we're going to show you some tips on how to brake around the circuit, some tips on how to corner, aiming for the different corners, as well as the tips on how to shift. So I hope you guys are looking forward to this one. This one will be a little bit short but interesting, and yeah, like I said, I'm so super excited for this coming Thursday. And yeah, I think we're gonna see that the gap that we've been seeing between the controllers and the wheel based guys will be a lot smaller come this Thursday. So as we get into it guys, Circuit Catalunya, the pace tips as always, please make sure that you do a prep race. So the prep races will obviously help you with your strategy. I think overcutting and undercutting is a high possibility for this race, as the tires don't really die too much, but the fuel obviously will be a key factor for this race. Thereafter guys, please make sure that you learn your braking points as always, especially in the slipstream. On this track, because you're at such high speeds, these braking points do differ quite a lot. So please make sure that you do practice this, especially in your prep races when following another car. And then thereafter guys, please again make sure that you learn all the penalty points. There are three big major ones, especially on the racing line for this track. So please learn where these penalty points are, and obviously burning your penalties off the racing line, as we did see quite a few guys burning it on the racing line this past Thursday. Brake balance as always for the wheel guys in quali and the race. Again, it's either +1 or +2 to the rear. It can differ obviously depending if you're in slipstream, so please just take that as a guide. And again, under good supervision from the under good word from the guys that race on controller, again it's +1 for the controller guys to the rear. And yes, please again guys, this is just a guide, so please make sure you adjust the brake bias according to your tire wear and your slipstream. So as we get into the lap, on the start finish straight, I like to park my car a little bit in the middle of the road just because I'm superstitious like that, but you can obviously run it towards the left. Turn 1, you're either looking for the black signpost, otherwise the 100-meter board, which is where I would start braking. I generally shift down into third, some guys would stay into fourth, and then I will clip the AstroTurf on the right hand side, and again on turn 2 on the left hand side, running a little bit over the sausage curve that's there, shifting up into fourth gear. Trying to hug as close as possible on the left, and then taking turn 3, which is the long right hander, flat. There might be a slight lift for some guys, but it's completely up to you. Turn 4, we're looking for the bridge, where we will then brake and go all the way down into second. Some guys will go into third, and then making sure that we power out as soon as we feel the car is stable and straight. Turn 5, I really don't have a braking point for this one, but if you look on the right hand side, there is the house on the right. So as soon as that goes out of view, you'll then shift down all the way into first. Some guys will take it in second and just roll the car and ride it out very nicely, accelerating out onto the green AstroTurf. Turn 6 and 7 here, I like to brake just as I start touching the entry curve, cutting very slightly on turn 6, and then on turn 7 riding it quite well, but do be careful, there is a penalty point. Sorry, that is turn 8. Then turn 9, as I end the entry curve, I then turn in onto turn 9, cutting it again a little bit, and then running it nice and wide onto the AstroTurf, but again do be careful with the penalty point that is there. Coming into turn 10, this one is I use the timer. As soon as the split hits, that's when I start braking. But I don't really have a reference point for that one. And then coming into turn 10, I make sure I again clip that AstroTurf in first gear, balancing the car using the throttle, and then on exit, flooring it very nicely and shifting up into second to avoid the wheel spin. Turn 12, riding it so nicely there, and then making sure as soon as I see that sausage curve or cross that sausage curve, I'll accelerate hard out and then rolling the car nicely out to the edge. As I see turn 13, as you see the corner, that's when you should start braking. I shift down to second, looking for the shadow of the bollard that's above us, that's where I start braking for the final 2 corners, clipping them very nicely. The second one, you have to make sure you touch the sausage curve or go over it. It will unsettle the car a little bit, but obviously then you get a lot of time coming out of that last sector and then onto the final start finish straight. So guys, it is a little bit technical for this track. I don't expect everybody to get it right the first time. It does take a bit of practice, but I will say this: if you are able to get turn 1, 2 and 3 correct, trust me when I say this, that you will gain half a second on your lap, because it's 3 short corners, but the more speed that you can carry through these 3 corners, you'll gain half a second. And then the same thing for the final sector when you come into the turn 10 hairpin. If you are able to carry enough speed and make sure that your car is straight, avoid all the wheel spin that you might get from those corners, but at least positioning the car in such a way that you can at least plant it out of the chicane especially. I think some guys have been reporting back to me saying that they are able to gain at least half a second through that final section. You definitely will drop your lap time quite a lot. As always, strategy is key for this race. I did mention earlier that between the undercut and the overcut, I think that should definitely be practiced in the prep races, just so that you know where you stand and how well you're doing with your tires and your times, and then obviously the fuel as well. Understanding the car's limits, especially in sector 3, which is what we're looking at right now, knowing where you can place the car, what the car's feeling like, if it's understeering, if it's oversteering, whatever the case may be. It is key to obviously making sure you know what the car's limits are on this track. And then one of the important things that I like using, which is why you probably find that I like to shift down quite a lot more than other guys. Some guys take corners in 3rd gear, whereas I'm in 2nd gear, is the engine braking. I use the engine to make the car brake so that I don't have to press the brake as much. But it does eat fuel a little bit more than usual, but other than that, I rate that it makes me a little bit quicker going around the corners. But nonetheless, obviously it's something that can be practiced, and again, obviously practicing slipstream behind another car. You can save fuel by lifting and coasting. Some of my teammates actually do that, but yes, please do practice slipstream, especially going around turn 3, as you'll find you'll just drift out completely wide if you're not sure where your car's limit is there. And then please also, at the hairpin turn 10, please guys be careful when you're overtaking there, because that's going to be probably the incident panel's worst nightmare, watching guys dive bomb there. I know a few of the gents are quite notorious for dive bombing at this corner, and I'm hoping that we don't get too many accidents happening at this corner right here. And guys, as always, don't forget to just have fun. Good luck with the race on Thursday. I hope this video does help you. I know that I have had a few comments where the guys have been asking that I try and slow down the videos a little bit more, but you know what, with these cars being so fast, it is quite difficult. But yeah, just practice. I'm hoping that you see a lot of fast times that we've been seeing it the past 3 weeks. And yeah guys, just as always, Godspeed and enjoy the race.